This video is sponsored by Redgrass Games. If I asked you what the number one question I got on this channel is, you could probably guess. It's what brush to use. But you might be really surprised at the second most asked question I get. Now, you'll have seen me painting miniatures across hundreds of tutorial videos, and I'll always be using the same tool in every single video regardless. In fact, it's probably in my top 5 essential tools. Can you guess what it is? That's right, it's the Redgrass Games painting handle. I absolutely love this, and I've been using it for absolutely years. Redgrass Games got in touch with me and told me that they'd improved it and made it better. Surely the only way to do that is to make it bigger. And here it is. The new Redgrass Games painting handle. It is the XL cap, and yeah, that putty's really on there. Pretty good. Oh, wow. Same great removable cap feature, albeit a bit stiff because it's brand new. But it's a lot wider underneath, so it'll hold these bigger base models like a Dreadnought. That's really cool. And probably that's the missing link, because if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll have noticed I'm using corks for certain things. So they're not ideal. So let's have a jump in and have a look on the table at some of the enhancements Redgrass Games have made. And why I'm quite excited about this new XL cap, and a little cheeky other feature they've introduced as well, which I've not shown you yet. This is the first generation Redgrass Games painting handle. Now, got my little putty on there to secure the base. You can see you've got that full 360 degree movement, which was nice, but you needed one handle per miniature, which, you know, is not ideal. So Redgrass very cleverly then came up with the second generation Redgrass Games painting handle. So you've still got that additional 360 movement. Redgrass Games then came up with their second generation painting handle. So you've still got that 360 degree movement. You've also got a magnetic plate, which aids in the stability of the paint handle when you want to put it down. But the genius part of this is that the cap comes off. So you can change the cap for different models. So you need 5 caps if you've got 5 models you're working on, and then you can just transfer them across. Now you might notice as well, mine's covered in paint. That's because they're really good for having to prime miniatures. So if you haven't got a painting stick, or you just, only want to prime one, you don't want to take that outside, they're really good for that as well. So this is the second gen. So we've got the first, the second gen. This is the brand new Redgrass Games painted handle. So it's still got the removable cap. Bit stiff because it's new. You've still got that magnetic base, and it comes with some putty as well so that you can attach the model. But here's where Redgrass have been a little bit ingenious. We've now got the XL caps. So let's pop one of these out of this baggie and have a little look. So pops on exactly the same way as the original small cap does. You can see it there. But this has got the XL cap. So if you want to put a much bigger miniature onto here, then it's going to be a lot more stable. You can spin it around really nicely, easy peasy. You've still got that 360 movement, and you've still got that magnet to make sure it's okay. But there's a couple of additional key features. The first thing you might notice is that this lip here is quite more pronounced than perhaps the lip on this one. And you've also got, I'll take it off because it's easier for me to show you, a little hole in there. And that little hole is very important, because when I first tested this, I totally missed the little hole. So it's rather embarrassed going back and saying, I'm not sure that the cork is thick enough. What cork, you might ask? Well, this cork. Ta-da! Redgrass Games cork. So this bit of cork sits on there. Now, hang on, that's not going to be particularly secure, is it? But you've got your little sticky pad here. So all you need to do is peel this off, and then stick this onto the extra wide cap like that. And you can drill through that, and you can pin a model in. So we'll have a little look at that in a second. The other thing you can do, that's quite secure. I was going to see if I would just pop it off, but actually that's really secure. So I think that's going to stay like that. So I'll show you how that hole works in a second. So if I take this Dante model that I'm working on, it's a little bit of work in progress. I drop this and it snapped off the base. There's the proof. So what I have to do is pin it in. But what I've done now is I've pinned this model into the cork. So if I use the painting handle, you can see actually I can still get to all the bits I need to get to and I can finish off the paint job. In terms of what that pinning action looks like, see there, it's into Dante's foot, into the cork, and into the painting handle. Now, the thing I was concerned about was that this wasn't going to be thick enough, so that you'd only have that sort of 0.5 centimetre gap there, so anything heavy was going to fall off. But that's what that little hole's for, and as the guys at Redgrass pointed out to me, it's there for the stability, so totally missed it. But yeah, really, really great idea. I love that. So this is one use of those wider caps. So let's have a look at another. So let me show you how I'd use this extra wide cap. So I like to get the putty into a little bit of a ball like that. And again, you get this with the handle. So pop it on there just like that. Essentially, we're going to squeeze this down so that that supports the base. So I'm just going to take this rather nice ballistas dreadnought that I've got. And then I'm going to push through there. And I'm going to give it a minute just to let that putty take hold. And as is March, it feels remiss not to include some Ultramarines. So you can see, nice and simply, you pop it on, you finish painting the next section, pop off the handle, and we pop on the next cap. Very nice, very straightforward. Whoops. I am actually going to putty on that one, so that was my fault. That's user error. I was trying to just get through the one tab. But you see, it's nice and easy and straightforward. These are going to look good when they're finished as well, I hope. So yeah, that just shows the ease of changing models. Now, it's a little bit stiff because these caps are new. So if I was going to use one of my older caps, for example, it pops off a lot easier. So if you paint a squad, you've got all these caps there. It's really, really, really nice. Quite look forward to seeing these finished. I'm sure certain other people are as well, without naming any names. But yeah, so these 6 Ultramarine Blade Guard and their Blade Guard Lieutenant, or Lieutenant, depending on what part of the world you reside, they're coming along nicely. But that's just an example of how you can pop them along using the different caps. One of the things I do love most about this handle, yes, you get that flexibility of the rotation of the cap on top, but it's the ergonomic design. It's really comfortable to use. Now, I paint for hours on end, so I can get some cramps in my hand here. Obviously, when that's my painting hand, my left hand where I'm holding the model is absolutely fine. And because it's a nice, comfortable position, I don't have to worry too much. If, for example, I was holding something like this bit of Cork, where I've got these models on, is actually a lot more strain and stress going through your fingers when you're holding it for such a long time. So having this ergonomic design is really, really nice. Now, these corks also fit on the skinny caps, nice and snugly, but just remember that with these, you haven't got the stability hole in the cap. So what I would advise, if you're going to use this, just use it for smaller parts. So if you're going to use it for, I don't know, like an arm perhaps, like a Space Marine arm, that would be fine to go on here. It wouldn't necessarily be good for something a little more heavier. So that Dante model I showed you earlier, that probably needs a bit more stability. But for just the small parts, heads, etc., this works absolutely perfectly fine. And as if by magic, a Space Marine head appeared. So you can see it's a much easier way of holding a Space Marine head if you want to leave it unattached. So, I'm obviously not painting at the moment, but if I was going to, I wanted to move around the model like that, nice and simple, nice and straightforward. Like I said, I really love the Redgrass Games handle. I've used it for years. So yeah, those are all of the features of the new Redgrass Games painting handle. Let's have a look at the Kickstarter and what you can get. So the Kickstarter is live on March the 14th. Check out the link in the description so you can get on the waitlist and be notified when it goes. I did just want to draw your attention to this package, which I think is an amazing deal. It's the 5-in-1 handle package, which is only €20, which I think is quite reasonable. You get your painting handle, which comes with your normal cap. You also get 4 of the new XL caps and also some additional fastening putty as well. So this will see you in really good stead. And then if you wanted some more XL caps, it's only €6 to add another 4 caps on there as well, which I think is really, really good. The other package I wanted to draw your attention to is this one, which is a 2 handles all-in package. And this is the one where you get 4 XL caps, 4 normal size caps, 2 painting handles, 2 additional fastening putty packages, and also those cork caps to go on top of the XL ones, which are great for painting in sub-assemblies. So there we go. That's Redgrass Games' new XL cap for the 360 painting handling. This Dreadnought is still stuck. It's there. That is I don't know if they've improved the putty, but that is super sticky. That is great. I'm really, really excited to start using this across my models. The Kickstarter is going live on the 14th of March, so make sure you click the link in the description and sign up to be notified when it does go live. I am really excited for this. It is such a simple tool, but it makes such a big difference. It makes painting easier. A huge thank you again to Red Grass Games for sending me these out to have a little go, and also a huge thank you to them for sponsoring this video. Red Grass have looked after me for a long time. They're a great company, so I really hope you do check out the Kickstarter. All this talk of painting handles has got me ready to paint, so check out one of my favourite videos here. I'll see you next time.